one pest that is very serious here in Ontario, and I think in large part of North America now, is the garlic nematode.
Right.
So this is again is a little worm. All the nematodes really are little worms, and you can see them usually with a microscope or and sometimes with a magnifying glass, but they're quite small. So there's something called a garlic nematode, which eats garlic. And this is a pest that is found in most garlic farms now in Ontario. And a couple of years ago, they actually went and tested them a little differently at the certified farm. So when you buy garlic, seed garlic, you should buy it from a nematode-free certified farm. Well, they found out that all the certified farms also had nematodes. They just had lower populations, so their tests weren't finding them. And the fellow we spoke to, which was from the Ministry of was it food, the Ministry of Food in Ontario, he said they don't think any of the farms are nematode free anymore. And so I don't know what that means, because that means we can't grow garlic. So if you are growing garlic, make sure you get it from a place that's nematode free. And I see a lot of people saying, oh, can I use garlic from the grocery store and plant that? And yes, you can probably do that, but it's not a good idea because it may not be nematode free. So one of the best things you can do is find an old gardener like me that's been growing it for 20 years and has never brought new garlic into the garden. So I know mine is nematode free. The one good thing about nematodes is they don't move very far.
All right.
They crawl, inches a year, not feet. And so if you don't have them in your garden, it's very unlikely you'll get them unless your neighbor has them and you move some soil in.
Right.
So find someone who doesn't have it. And if they've been growing it for 20 years, it's almost certainly free, because back then we didn't have nematodes in garlic.
Right.
Once you have it, there's really nothing you can do about it. You could, I guess, make a raised bed and put soil that you bring in that's free of nematodes, right? Maybe an artificial mix of some sort, and then grow in there. But you can't get rid of it in your soil very easily. You have to wait something like 8 years and don't plant garlic there, and eventually they will die out, and then you'll be free. So other than that, there's not much you can do about it.
I often wonder, like this fall, I plant a lot of garlic every year, 250 garlic a year. And this year I had one of my garden beds, I would say 60% of the garlic didn't come up. Now, the difference between that bed of garlic and all the other ones is that for years I've been saving a garlic that was from a grocery store garlic. It was different color, different variety, right?
Yeah.
And so I basically save the biggest one every year, but every year I'd only get like one big one. So anyway, last year I got 3 good sized ones. So I planted, a whole bed. I had enough to plant a whole bed. And almost all of them died. And I don't know if those had nematodes in them. They were organic garlic from Nova Scotia, you know what I mean? So I figured, but the difference between that bed and all the other ones is that it's completely at grade, and the soil there is quite damp in the winter.
Yeah.
And so either those garlic were killed, just weren't hardy. I normally grow the, what's it called? The white, it's a hard neck. It's a really hardy garlic. I just can't remember the variety of it, but it's a well-known certified seed, super white, sort of invincible garlic, can go down to zone 3 sort of thing.
Yeah.
They're all fine. I just wonder, so that happened, and I'm like, good God, did they just get too cold and they can't, was it maybe like a zone 6 hardy variety, and this year, even though I'm in zone 6, it was more zone 5-ish? Or is that whole bed infested with nematodes? They all turn to mush, basically. The ones that they're all mushy and soft.
Yeah, I don't think it's the nematodes, because the nematodes wouldn't do much over the winter. right? So they're going to start growing
Oh,
and going into the bulb, in the spring and do the damage during the summer. And so when you go and
yes.
harvest them, then you can usually, when you have a high infestation, you can see it in the bulb as sort of it kind of looks rotten. It's a really bad case. The problem is if you have a very low number, you don't even see it. You might look at your garlic and say, oh, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good news for me.
So I don't think it would be a nematode problem if it happened over the winter, but
Right.
I don't think they like to be too wet either.
Yeah, I think my first instinct was too cold, too wet. So I'm gonna make a video about that actually, just saying like, hey, you're using grocery store garlic and you're saving all this money on the seed garlic, but now I got like, I'm short 40 garlic. Anyway,
Yeah, you don't need that much garlic anyways.
I do.
You do.
Oh yeah, no, we were still eating last year's garlic. We eat a crazy amount, and not only that, but we preserve all the scapes too. So we're down to maybe 2 dozen of last year's garlic, and maybe 2 sort of like container, like small mason jar containers of the garlic scape paste. We eat an insane amount. I mean, remember there's 4 of us, and the kids now eat as much as me. I'm 6'4", and I mean everything just gets used, and we use garlic almost every day in quantity, half a head or a head a day. So it goes fast, Hey folks, guess what? I've started a newsletter at maritimegardening.substack.com. I'll be putting out 1 article a week. That's 52 articles a year. The articles expand on ideas that I mention in my videos and podcasts. And every article has a read aloud option, so you can just listen to me read it if you're busy doing something else. You can subscribe for $30 a year or try it for $5 a month and see what you think. It's a great way to help support everything I'm doing here. But hey, there's also free content too, so if you just want to read the free stuff, that's fine too. As always, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.